In action in London this afternoon. Chelsea in second with 5 wins in their last 6 games. Entertain Leeds in 5th place, who themselves have won 4 of the last 5. At Stamford Bridge, watching this one for us was John Motson.
It was here at Stamford Bridge 38 years ago that the much-mourned Billy Bremner made his Leeds debut at the age of 17. A side that also included Don Revie and Jack Charlton beat Chelsea 3-1 that day. Revie saw in Bremner then the makings of a great captain, and today the modern Leeds skipper David Hopkin returns after suspension to face his old club and bring fire to the midfield as Bremner once did. He's also following in Bremner's footsteps in the Scotland World Cup team and comes face to face with Norway's Tore Andre Flo, who he may well face in Scotland's second match. Flo scored a hat-trick at Spurs last week, and again he parked Gianfranco Zola, who got 3 the week before against Derby. There's one change in that starting lineup because of Babayaro's injury. Lasso switches to left back and Mark Nichols starts in midfield. Dennis Wise passed a late fitness test. Mark Hughes is suspended, and at the latest count, no fewer than 10 of Chelsea's multinational squad could be playing in the World Cup. Leeds have their own jet-setter in Lucas Radebe. He played for South Africa against Brazil last weekend. After this, he's off to Saudi Arabia for a tournament that rules Australian Harry Kewell out of today's Leeds lineup. So Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank gets the vote up front. Graham Pole, the referee, conducted a minute's silence before the kick-off for Billy Bremner. It was meticulously observed, and both teams are wearing black armbands this afternoon, and I'm also pleased to say they're in their traditional colours. Chelsea all in blue, Leeds in white. You can't help thinking back to matches like the 1970 Cup final, in which of course Billy Bremner figured. Chelsea are playing from the right, and for Leeds it's going to be number 9 there, Hasselbank up front with Wallace. But Petrescu got in quickly, so too did Di Matteo, and look at Sinclair on the far side. Chelsea really breaking well from the midfield. 3 waiting in the centre, and the first corner straight away. This will bring Frank Leboeuf forward as Di Matteo made the play. He wants him 10 yards back there, Gary Kelly. Distant referee just decreeing the distance. Zola there with Wise. And still he's not happy. It's Gary Kelly. Yellow card for not retreating 10 yards. So they still wait to take the corner. Flo and Sinclair waited to come in from behind the penalty spot. And in by Petrescu, and Leeds need to clear this. Leboeuf. This is Michael Dewberry. Now, that's going to be a yellow card. It's a foul on Zola, and it's Lucas Radebe, who I reckon has been given a man-marking job here. He marked Zola last season at Ellen Road, and 1 or 2 reactions to that tackle have caused the referee to delay, but I think when it's all sorted out, he's going to book Lucas Radebe. Well, certainly that was the tackle from behind. Nichols. Zola makes another one of those darting runs. Good challenge, actually, by Gunnar Haller. Hopkin. Foul on Haaland by Di Matteo, and Leeds have taken it so quickly. Chelsea are still backpedaling. This is Robertson. Another collision. Robertson and Sinclair this time. He wants words. Well, it's a yellow card for Di Matteo, who had committed an offence a little way back. Oh, and there's another yellow card as well. It looks to Alfie Haaland. He showed it twice. I think those two were at it a little bit together. Here comes the throw-in, and Graham Poll still doesn't seem happy. He's going to book somebody else, is he? Well, there's all sorts going on here between the players. Haaland for a little bit of a nonsense off the ball. Here's the throw-in. De Hoy needs to claim it. So obviously a bit of reaction there between Haaland and Oh, look at this. That's a bad one. And Graham Poll here has set the standard with early yellow cards, and there's trouble for Ribeiro. Halfway through the first half, and Ribeiro goes diving in, and the referee here, known to be very strict, has not actually booked Ribeiro. This is wise, and look at that. I mean, if that's not a yellow card, then... Anyway, play goes on. Here's Dewberry. Leboeuf. Zola, still Radebe at Zola's heels every time he moves. Sinclair again. Zola goes into the centre. Hooked away by David Weatherall. And then it's Alfie Haaland with the header. And now, oh, talk about physical. The Chelsea player who made that tackle has hurt himself. And now there's a scuffle. Haaland's involved again, and he's already been booked. The Norwegian here is treading a very dangerous line, but the Chelsea tackle that preceded it, where the player concerned hurt himself, was what really precipitated the incident. This is Chelsea versus Leeds revisited. It's just like the 70s here for a moment. Feet flying all over the place. Graham Poll is about to show the yellow card again. And Haaland, who's already been booked, this is danger here, but he's off. Alfie Haaland looks as though he's off. Second yellow. Leeds are down to 10 men. Alfie Haaland is sent off for 2 bookable offences. Leeds are arguing because of the Chelsea tackle that started that phase of play. The man who made it is still down. And Dennis Wise looks as though he may have been booked in the dust-up as well. Well, this is almost anarchy here. What's happened is, that's the tackle that caused the trouble. It came in on Haaland and Hasselbank. Now, Alfie Haaland now gets involved in another bit of a scuffle. Wise goes away, tackles Hasselbank. Haaland kicks the ball and Wise. And then he seems to nudge Wise again. And Haaland, already yellow carded, was sent off. Dewberry went in on the tackle on Haaland, and that's really what started the whole thing. Graham Rix is trying to calm him down, and Leeds have lost a player. There goes Hasselbank. Another one. This is also going to be a yellow unless he's careful. David O'Leary and Ruud Gullit there watching from the sidelines. Graham Rix on the left, the Chelsea coach. 20 free kicks in the first half hour. Graham Poll here, with a reputation as a hard liner, is certainly exercising his authority. This is Lasso. This is Ribeiro again. More trouble on the touchline, and Bruno Ribeiro, who was lucky not to be booked earlier for a bad tackle, is in trouble this time for sure. Graham Poll adding again to the list. It's yellow. Well, I mean, that's totally intentional. Didn't play the ball. Has to be a yellow card offence. Trying to set up Dennis Wise. Wise with the shot. That's the best effort so far. And it's possibly the only goal-bound effort so far. He hits this from all of 25 yards, the Chelsea captain, and it's just swinging away. I think Nigel Martin had it covered. Well, Leeds United are playing obviously here with 10 men. They've got to a certain extent, sit back and force Chelsea to come at them and try and play on the break. And now there's a late one here. Mark Nichols on Gary Kelly. And more trouble. Yellow card again. Wise. Flo tries to get away from David Weatherall, the Norwegian. Zola joins in. Dan Petrescu is well forward there, but Leeds, a man short, remember, just funneling back in defence. Here's Jimmy Hasselbank. Hopkin. Hasselbank goes in again, that's a foul. Chelsea want to take it quickly, this is Leboeuf. And he's been done from behind by Gary Kelly. This could be another sending off. He's already going, he's gone. Red card by Graham Poll to Gary Kelly. Second offence, having been booked for not retreating to a corner in the first minute. He goes as well, and Leeds United are down to 9 men in the 50th minute of the first half. Quite extraordinary, this. They were all diving in, Hasselbank included. Leboeuf tried to pick up a quick free kick. Kelly caught him from the back, and Leeds have lost 2 players to red cards. Welcome to the 70s revisited. Ugly scenes at Stamford Bridge between Chelsea and Leeds. You'd think it was, with great respect to their reputations, Norman Hunter and Chopper Harris all over again here. Graham Poll has applied the letter of the law. There are stewards on the pitch trying to rescue the referee or to escort him off. And the story of the half is that we've had a booking every 5 minutes, perhaps even quicker than that. 2 players sent off for second offences, Alfie Haaland and Gary Kelly. And apart from them, Leeds down to 9 men, 4 other Leeds players booked, 3 Chelsea players have been yellow carded, and the referee leaves the field to a cascade of booing. So at the start of the second half, referee Poll having to count the players because Leeds are down to 9 men. They've made a substitution. Derek Lilly is on in place of Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. But I would imagine the other 8 will have to spend their entire time defending against Chelsea's 11. And the other news is that George Graham apparently tried to go and see the referee at half-time and was refused entry, so it's reported to the referee's room. This is Dewberry for Chelsea. And they've now got a 2-man advantage in this game. Here's Di Matteo. Nichols. Zola waits in the centre. And Wise has had the best effort of the first half and gets in the first rather miss-hit effort of the second. This is Leboeuf for Chelsea. Dewberry. Sinclair. This is Flo. And now it's Wise. Well, Lasso's got Nichols in support. Chelsea may well get a corner here. Nigel Martin tried to save it. So up they come. Leboeuf, Dewberry, Sinclair, Flo. Frank Leboeuf goes in. Oh, it was nearly an own goal. He just about got away with it, the man in the net. Leboeuf didn't quite get the touch. I think it might have been David Hopkin back there on the line. Zola takes the corner. Leboeuf near post, and oh, that's Hopkin. Sliced it fortuitously wide of his own net. The Leeds captain. Corner again to be taken by Zola. Flo comes in. Now the whistle's gone, it won't count. He's not given it, Graham Poll. It will not count, and they've taken the free kick so quickly, there's no time for Chelsea to gather their thoughts. Wallace. There had to be an infringement in there on the header. And Torre Andre Flo thought he'd scored, but the whistle had gone. Here's Sinclair. Petrescu. And now Di Matteo. There's players, well, there are going to be players over for Chelsea every time they attack. Here's Lasso. Bit of manhandling out there. Free kick to Chelsea, given against Gunnar Haller. Well, you would think with 2 men over that Chelsea must surely take this match by the scruff of its neck now, rather than the players taking each other by the scruff of the neck, which was in very much a danger of the first half. Flo goes towards the near post now! Oh, he's missed it! Within seconds of having an effort disallowed, he heads wide. Zola took the free kick, and Torre Andre Flo got in front of the defenders. In fact, Nigel Martin was nowhere on that, as he would admit, but it went wide. And here, in fact, is Ribeiro for Leeds. Oh, that dipped. Well, what a turn it would be if the 9 men took the lead. Bruno Ribeiro with Leeds' best effort of the match so far. This is Lasso. And Flo's in there. Oh, the man coming in behind him was there. That's a brilliant save by Nigel Martin. And, oh, well, Dewberry can't believe it. And the England goalkeeper here really responding. It was Dewberry who had the header. Zola with the corner. Flo comes in. This is Wise. But it goes wide to Di Matteo. And that's going out. Well, Nigel Martin made himself a hero there. A superb tip over from Michael Dewberry. Well, 9-man Leeds United hold on for a point at Stamford Bridge, playing 2 men short for the whole of the second half. Chelsea unable to get past Nigel Martin, who made a stunning save towards the end, but really a few hoots and howls around Stamford Bridge today, because this wasn't the match we all hoped for. First half littered with bookings and sendings off, and the second half in which Chelsea had all the territorial advantage, but just couldn't score a goal. And Leeds will look upon it as a hard-won point, playing more than half the match, 2 men short.
I think that it's always difficult already when you play against 10 men. And against 9 men is even more difficult because, you know, they have no attention at all to attack. And so it is a wall, and you just have to have the luck that you find the right space. And but I think that Chelsea didn't have the quality today to find that space, and that's why also all credit to Leeds in the way they defended their goal.
With 9 men, we showed a lot more discipline, a better attitude. The first half was very indisciplined with certain players. We picked up far too many bookings. We picked up 2 sending offs, but I'd like to see them in a rerun, because I thought there was an awful lot of diving from the opposition, and I've been saying this recently, it's creeping into our game a lot, and I think it's terrible to see fellow professionals play acting to get other players booked.
Graham, 8 players booked, 2 sent off. Was that a fair reflection of the game?
I think it was a fair reflection of the first half, certainly. A game that I've not been involved in like that before. The yellow card didn't seem to have any effect on the players. Unfortunately, then 2 players were cautioned for a second time and went off. But I think it was a fair reflection of the first half. I think it was also proved by what happened in the second half, where only 7 fouls were actually given and no one was cautioned. So it proved the players could control themselves, maybe with help with their managers.
Graham, it was certainly an interesting first 45. What do you make of it?
It's probably more interesting watching than it was playing, because I was waiting for every tackle to come in. You never knew where they were coming from, and sort of what sort of ferocity they were coming in at. So it was a tough battle, and I think Leeds had come to maybe unsettle us a bit and agitate us, and to a certain extent that worked.
How do you explain a second half performance like the one you just put out?
Hard. I think the 9 men found it difficult, and the Chelsea had the ball all the time. It was just every time we got it, the only thing we could do was put it on a channel and squeeze up. But it's just like constant pressure the whole second half. But I thought we defended superb.
Some might say that when a side can't beat a team with 9 men, it's not really championship potential.
Who said that?
I've just said it.
You said So it's yours. I don't know. It's always have been other people who said we were pretenders. And now one day after we are not pretenders anymore.
He gets so uptight, doesn't he? Well, you can't say there was a lack of commitment, Alan.
Tell you what, it was like a war zone there in the first half. It was absolute carnage. It was definitely a game that I don't think you or I would have liked playing in.
I wouldn't have liked, no, they leave me out of it.
Hardy Trev would have been all right with the tackles flying in there. But, I mean, it was ludicrous because in many ways the referee was pretty lenient at times. You know, you had so many bookings and sendings off. The tackles were just flying in. I don't think you can argue at all about the sendings off. We start early in the match. Gary Kelly comes across. Now, the linesman said, right, you get further back, get 10 yards. So he's had a chance to get back there. The referee's trying to tell him to get further back. You might say it's a little bit harsh early in the game. He might have given a warning. But as soon as he gets the booking, priority, stay on your feet. Here he goes. He goes diving in there. That's a let-off. Could easily have been sent off there. Referee lets it go. So you think now, definitely, for the rest of the match, he'll be on his feet. Then there's a bit of a fracas here. Chelsea get a free kick. Take it quickly. Who comes diving into the back of the booth? Kelly. Doesn't even wait, he's on his way. Got to go. Then Holland gets sent off. This is Di Matteo and Holland. A little bit of fracas there. Nothing untoward. But there's a scuffle. And Holland has a kick at Di Matteo. So the referee's got no option but to book the two of them. Then this follows. Dewey comes in, stud shown but high. Then Dennis Wise comes in with a bad tackle. Holland gets the ball and then has a kick at him. So it doesn't matter what you call it.
Call it daft. Well, what do you call it?
You can call it petulant, but it was stupid in the end.
Yeah. 11 against 9, though. Rude said it's not easy. It's even more difficult than it is against 10. I'm not quite sure about that. But, but a team of Chelsea's capabilities should have worn them down, shouldn't they?
Well, you would have thought so. You know, the way Chelsea are playing and the quality they've got on their side. I think it was a mixture of Leeds defending magnificently and Chelsea didn't play that well in the day. Basically, what you've got is if you get players behind the ball, it's so difficult to break it down. And what happens is there's lots of men behind the ball here. And Chelsea, they don't vary their tactics at all. They try to play it, play it, play it. And in the end, all afternoon, they're shooting from 25 yards, and the shooting, to be fair, was woeful. And I thought, with 25 minutes to go, there's no chance of Leeds United scoring. I thought they should have pushed Dewberry up earlier. This is late on in the game. Big man in the box. Great chance here. And a great save by a keeper in form. I just felt that he didn't stick Dewberry up because it was a last resort.
But he's got flow there. He's a big fella anyway, isn't he?
Yeah, but flow's not great. And I think somebody like Hughes would have been in his element. All right, he might not finish the game off, but somebody like Hughes to hold it up and get in there and cause a bit of pressure in the Leeds United defence, and so anybody can pick up the pieces. But a bad day for Chelsea, I would say.
And a good second half performance from Leeds.
Terrific.